Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So the past couple of weeks I haven't been able to really get out in the garden and do a whole lot. We've been dealing with some illness inside the house with the family, and on top of that, Florida has been getting pounded with rainstorms. There has just been a ton of rain dumped on us, and because of that, you're gonna see a lot of things that are overgrown. Just from me not being able to get out here to all of the rain causing everything to just flourish and explode. So why don't we go and take a little walk around, and I wanted to show you guys the flower actually opened up, and I thought it was red on the inside. And as it turns out, it's not entirely red, but it does have these beautiful striations in them, and it does still smell terrible. It smells like rotting meat, so it has a knack for really drawing in the flies. And then I have another huge blossom on this side that's getting ready to open at any minute. I came out here the other day just sort of walking around, and while I was passing this section, I smelled the most fragrant aroma, and I took a glance in this direction, and the pineapple was about 3/4 of the way yellow, so it had ripened very quickly. I came out here hoping that none of the squirrels got to it, and I cut it off, took it inside, and it was just incredibly juicy. It was so fragrant, it was so delicious, it was so sweet. I cannot get over how good it tasted, and the fact that this was something that I had grown. So as we talked about the last time, you'll notice that there is a second offshoot coming off of this plant, and looking into the research, it turns out that the pineapple plants are only going to fruit one time and then they die off. The mother plant will die off. If the plant is healthy enough, it does produce these offshoots, like this one right here, and the offshoot will turn in or become the mother plant, and that is going to be where the new fruit will start to grow in. So since this is no longer going to fruit anymore on this side, I'm going to hopefully kind of trim it back and try and put the new one into a pot, because as you can tell, pineapple plants, they're very sprawling. They like to cover a lot of area, and if I am able to pull it out of this section, hopefully I'll be able to do a little bit more in this section right here. I have some ideas of things that I'd like to do or try or attempt. So now that that pineapple is gone, it's going to allow me to pull up that plant and hopefully just sort of dabble in this area and see how it turns out. The salvia plant that I got from a neighbor seems to be doing okay. I don't have any blossoms or any flowers just yet, but it is still coming back. It's still very healthy looking, a lot of green growth. And the lavender seems to be doing really well. There is a little bit of browning in the center of the pot, in the center of the plant. That could be due just from too much sun, not enough sun, too much water, not enough water. At this point, who knows? I really don't know. But as you can see, there is a lot of overgrowth right now. Just changed in that direction, just with everything growing. There's just a lot of grass, it's overgrown. And then when you walk in this direction, we'll pass by that flower one more time. But as I was out here just walking the grounds with my daughter, I happened to come across, we like to go and check on all of the bananas. So we've got a couple bananas coming up there, and a couple of bananas coming up there. And these are the ice cream bananas. These are the really, really large ones. I need to come out here and cut this male flower off, and that way all of the energy will go into producing the big plump bananas. But as you come around, I don't know if you can start to see, after months and months, the bananas are starting to turn yellow. So now that they're starting to turn yellow, I'll be able to cut those down and let them fully ripen in a cool, dark space, and we'll be able to eat our very own homegrown bananas. So that's kind of exciting. Now everything over here is, again, it's overgrown. There's been so much water, so everything has shot up. Everything has put on a lot of growth, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to end up doing with these tomato plants. I do have some flowers on here, so I'm not real sure if I'm going to cut them back. I don't know if I'm going to cut them down. I really just don't know what I'm going to do with them. I need to figure out what I'm going to do, because I don't know if they're going to produce any more fruit. We do have some of the flowers, which is where the tomatoes are going to grow from, but I just don't know if they've passed their prime here in zone 9B. So that's something I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do. And they're not looking the healthiest either. I just haven't been able to get out here and tend to them as much as I'd like, or give them nearly as much of attention as I would have liked, just with everything going on in life and family. But as you can see, everything is overgrown. All of the flowers are sprawling everywhere, and you can see in the back the red lettuce is starting to go to seed and flower, so I intend to leave those up. I want to see what the flower looks like, plus it'll be really good for all of the pollinators. The lemongrass is doing really well over here in this section, so I'm almost thinking about taking the two lemongrasses that are right here and right there and moving them over here into this section, just so that if that one is doing so well, why not just move the rest of them over there and see how that works out. My basil's doing okay. It's suffering a little bit. The temperatures here in Tampa have been getting above 90 degrees, and once they start reaching over 90 degrees, that's when a lot of the plants, they start to become stressed out. So I haven't been able to do any sort of application with hydrogen peroxide. I've just been sort of trying to do everything hand picking, as to not stress the plants out any further than they already are. Now, the one thing that has been doing very well are these peppers, these pepper plants. I don't know if you're going to be able to see them or not, but these pepper plants, they seem to really enjoy the heat. They've also really enjoyed the all of the hot sun and all of the water that's been coming in. So this is just filled with little beautiful flowers, blooms, and then the sweet pepper plant, there's been a lot of growth on it, and I am just now starting to see a couple flowers, which I'm assuming that's where the peppers are going to grow from. And in the back you can see my peas are not doing too well. I don't know if it's because they're getting eaten. I don't know if it's due to the water and the sun, so I'm not real sure what I'm going to do with this section. I do still have a couple of Asian greens over here, but all of the rest of them, they were eaten by probably slugs or snails, or something's been munching on them, so I'm not real sure what I'm going to do with that section. And we have all of these flowers that have blossomed, and they are beautiful. They are getting a little out of hand, though. Everything is just sprawling and going in every direction possible. They're really pretty, though. There's a bunch of different kinds. At least they're pretty to look at. Trying to attract some of the pollinators, and that way have a healthy garden. Now these down here, these are a little different, and they look really beautiful. They almost look like they're fancy or fringed or curly, but they have just a gorgeous little bloom on them. Frilly petals. The chocolate mint and the peppermint are doing okay. I do need to cut those back, keep them under control. They do grow like a weed still. My carrots are doing pretty well. My 2 carrots, I'm probably going to pull those up. keep it from just going everywhere. And then these are the flowers that I was talking to you about. This is the flowers from the red lettuce. I think it'll be pretty to see what they look like when they open. I'll leave these on here and not pull these just so that I can attract some more pollinators. But as you can see, there's a lot of work that needs to be done in this garden in general. I did plant a sweet potato start over there on this side. And that one's doing okay, but the one that was over here, well, that was a fail. That didn't work out so well. I don't know if it did not get enough water or if it got too much heat, but that didn't work out really well. So everything is really overgrown, and I think I'm gonna have to turn everything over. I'd like to go ahead and take all of the mulch that's in the back there and see if I can just go ahead and add it to this section, finish off my no dig, and that way I can try and start adding some more Asian greens, maybe some different kales, Ethiopian kale, some different spinaches. Let's see if we can get those going. It is really hot though in Zone B right now in Tampa. We are reaching temperatures over 90 degrees. I'm not real sure how that's going to affect the new starts, and I don't know how it's going to affect everything that's already here right now, but I am getting these little flowers on the tomato plants. So maybe I'll just let them go and see what happens. But some of the plants, some of the flowers are drying up, and that's just a sign that they're not getting enough water. So they might be past their prime. I don't really know what you do with tomato plants once you reach this stage. I don't know if you cut them down. I don't know if you take them off. I just don't know. So we'll have to see how that goes. There's one left right up there. One little lone tomato. So that's the update for today. And hopefully I'll be able to come back out here and clean some of this up, put some of my projects into motion. But you know, family comes first. And when someone is sick, it's never fun. It's always challenging. So we'll see what happens. But exciting things to come. Thanks for stopping in. Hopefully I'll see you guys the next time and have another worthwhile moment with me. Have a good day.